it's a Sailor Moon. It's the it's the inner Senshi Maya Sailor Moon, and it's basically I was trying to think of like something to draw because I've been trying to push myself more recently, and I decided that I didn't really want to like focus my entire time trying to like figure out a pose and all that. And I'd rather focus on color and composition and stuff like that. So I decided to do a screenshot redraw, and and also especially focus on background too. And so I decided to do a screenshot redraw of a Sailor Moon moment. I have no idea what moment it is. I literally just will search Sailor Moon screenshot, and this is the one that came up that I kind of liked. Uh, so basically, I quickly did the sketch first, and then what you're seeing is just me coloring it in, and like I tried to experiment with the colors, so I used purple for the shadows. It's more of a magenta actually, so like a magenta for the shadows, and like blended that in so it kind of pops out. And then for the background, I used shades of like a bluish gray and a golden color to like try and make it look different from the girls, and also obviously stay true to the screenshot. Um, and I think it came out pretty well. For a while, Venus has kind of a man's face, but I think I ended up making it all right, and I had some trouble with Jupiter too. Her face went through a lot of transformation, but I think it ended pretty well. Except for Luna. Luna, I had no idea what I was doing, because the thing is, I draw people, not cats. Artemis was a happy accident, but Luna, I have no idea what I was doing. So yeah, that didn't go very well, but you live and learn. I'll try and practice cats more. Because the thing is, like, if you practice and, like, you really try, then you can really do anything because, I used to be, like, a terrible artist, and, like, I just trained myself for so long that it ended up, like, not being that bad, and, even now I'm still learning and I'm trying, I'm actually, like, trying so hard so I can, like, get into a role-playing group on DeviantArt that's like really competitive to get in right now. Unfortunately, I didn't get in, and I have to wait another 6 months to try again, but it sounds like I'm choking up. I'm not. I'm just not used to like speaking this long. It's only been 2 minutes. Uh, and the interesting thing is that like if you do like keep at it and you do keep going, then like the people that you look up to before, who like you one day wanted to be like them, they'll become your like rivals, and that's like really cool because I sound like a teenager, but that's really cool because it lets you explore your style. Because I went through a lot of styles. I used to have pentagon heads and like little nub hands because I couldn't draw hands. Now I can draw hands. The problem is I can't draw arms. Although we'll get to that in the next speed paint, trust me. So uh yeah, and just like if you just keep going and you believe in yourself, because there is going to be some tough times, because I know I had some tough times where I'm like, I'll never be good enough, my art is not good. And your art isn't good. That's just a fact. When you start out, your art's not going to be good. Like, no one ever started out really well. You just have to put in the practice and put in the effort, and then pretty soon you're going to be great. I mean, if it doesn't mean anything, but I'll still say it. I believe in you, so, that's something. It's not much, but it's something. Um, and yeah, I didn't actually end up using any reference besides the photo for this. Actually, no, that's a lie. I used some reference for Venus's costume because I made it a little bigger than what's in the reference, so I did have to look up what that looks like, and I think I also used a little bit of reference for Jupiter, but other than that, I didn't use much else, like in terms of like anatomy and stuff. Because, when you're already going with a pose, you don't really need much more than that, whereas, like, I usually end up drawing my hands first and my arms second. And this pose didn't have any arms in it, or any hands in it, so I didn't need to use a reference for arms, but I have like a real struggle using arms in drawings, so that's like a big issue for me. And yeah, as you can see, I started working on Venus first, which is kind of unusual for me because I tend to just like jump around whatever I feel like working on. Like if I notice something, I don't want to forget about it, so I like immediately go to that. I think at some point I jumped to Mars, and I'm just like I just forget about Venus for a while. But like that's good. I don't like it when people stick to one thing for like a really long time because I feel like it just gets monotonous and you get bored of what you're doing because you need to like jump around and see something new and like, like get something to take your mind off the fact that coloring is really boring. Because it is really boring and there's no getting around that unless you like are a masochist and you like coloring, in which case don't talk to me. Because I wish I was you, to be honest, because I hate coloring so much, but you have to do it. You have to, that's another thing, you have to finish your art. The main reason I didn't get into that group I was telling you about was because my art wasn't good enough, and that's just a fact, but that's why I've been pushing myself, and I've been trying to finish more, because like the main thing was I hadn't finished very much of my art. And so, like, you just gotta put in backgrounds, render things, color things. You definitely, like, if you just do sketches, then you're not gonna improve in those fields, and, you're gonna be like, I wanna be good at it, and then you're just not gonna do it. And, wanting to do something is different than actually doing it. It's like that Shia LaBeouf thing, just do it. But, no, yeah, and something I really liked about this drawing was doing the bows. The bows were a lot of fun to do. Because I like the colors, like the blue and the reds are very pretty, and just like rendering them was a lot of fun. Yeah, I really liked Mars in this one. She was very cute. Jupiter is a whole nother thing. Oh my god, she was not the most fun to draw or color because I didn't do a good job with her head. So I had to like transform it a bunch of times in order to make it like look good from both sides, because you'll see me like flip it around a couple times. Because I knew that Mars and Venus looked pretty good from both angles. I mean, obviously Venus will because she's straight on. And I think I did take a look at Mars. I couldn't remember her name in the before I started, but yeah. And you'll also see that I made Jupiter a bit too small in comparison to everyone else. Like, she's supposed to be about the same size as Mercury. God, I can't remember anyone's names. It's just planets. And she should be about the same size as her, but I do think I fixed that in the end. And yeah, God, going back to Luna, I just like do not draw cats, and I really should draw more animals because, I do want to make my own comic at some point, and, humans aren't the only things. You have animals, you have, like, vehicles, you have plants, and I can draw most plants, but I can't draw roses like I was saying before. At least I think I said before. I don't know if I said that before, but I can't draw roses. I don't know, I've recorded this so many times because my audio player keeps crashing, so I'm gonna assume that I said I can't draw roses before. Yeah, so, I also don't like the way, Jupiter's eyes ended up. I feel like they're too big for the style I was going with, which is another thing, style. My style is very, like, it started out very anime and then it turned more American cartoony. And now it's kind of like a bit of both, I like to think. Like, it's more on the American side, but I like it the way it is. Because, like, you want to have your own style. Like, I saw this really good piece of advice where, like, you look at someone else's style and you really like it and you just keep messing it up, and if you keep messing it up enough, pretty soon you have your own style. and it's your own, and you know, and then someday someone else will be like, I like their style, and they'll mess it up and they'll make it their own. So I don't know, I just find that kind of cool. Um, what else? God, I only have a minute left. So what I was saying before about roses are that like other flowers you can like kind of get an idea if you study them long enough what they'll look like from other angles. But like roses, you really have to look at them from every angle, and you really have to study hard on them because they're not like regular flowers. They have like, you know, they kind of like explode outward, I guess is the best way I can describe it. They just kind of explode outward, and you know, I like to do a lot of flower backgrounds. They're very I wouldn't say they're easy, but like they're easy to imagine. The problem is like putting that imagination into like reality and like placing it in your art, and that's just, you know, something you have to try on your own. And about it. So, you know, thank you for joining me, and see you next time.